Hello, friends. Welcome to today's show. I'm Dr. Helen, Chief Engagement Officer of Dr. Helen Holton Speaks, Dr. Helen Holton and Associates. Yes, and the show is Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. I am your show host and elated to be here with you. As a strengths, resilience, and leadership coach, that's what I do. And I love it. I recognize a lot of things about being in this space. And I show up here because I value you as a leader. My life's been gifted to live in this space. And the best way to appreciate the ability to use these gifts for good is to give them back to the world. So hello, world. I hope you're joining us and ready to take something away to make your life better at what you do, who you are, and how you show up in the world. It's not by accident or coincidence. I want to start off giving kudos to Paula Fellingham, the founder and creator of the Win-Win Women Network, creating this space for women to come together and share the many multiple gifts that we have to make a difference in this world. I was surprised when I looked up and saw how long I've been doing this because it seems like only yesterday. And in this space, I've had the opportunity to share, grow, and have my life enriched by you and what you bring to this space. We're going to continue with the theme we started a few weeks ago on leadership pearls. Leadership pearls. When I think about pearls, if you know anything about them, pearls are formed in oysters, and there are no two pearls that are alike, which is like who we are as people. Even identical twins are not totally identical. Yes, they share common DNA, but their minds and how they think and process things are different. So as we continue on this journey of leadership pearls, and I'm all about resilience, and we're going to get into this in a little bit. I brought to this space of looking at what I call the P2 punch. The P2 punch are fraternal twins for perseverance and persistence. Fraternal because they're not the same thing. However, the P2 punch keeps us moving ahead in spite of the obstacles, challenges that we may encounter. These are two power moves that also help to build and keep your resilience strong. Now, as I always talk about resilience, maybe you don't know, but I do. Resilience is a big thing. I want you to know, one day I asked myself this question: what does resilience look like? And when I looked in the mirror, I realized that where I found myself in life was really because of resilience. But that's more for another episode. This is what I want you to understand. The best and most effective leaders in life are lifelong learners. So if you're thinking, yeah, I went to school, I've got a postgraduate degree or degrees, and I've learned all that I need to make it through life. Wrong answer. No. The most effective leaders in life are lifelong learners. Many years ago, my mom taught me there's no such thing as standing still. Either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. You just don't stand still. And so as I pondered this thought, it made me think about, that's right, because time moves on. You nor I can stop and hold time in place and space. It's not possible. It's not within our power. When you make time to refresh what you know, learn new things, while you continue to grow, leads you to develop yourself as a more reliable, respected, and revered leader. The more you learn, the better positioned you are to grow and lead others. It's part of your process to expand and refine your knowledge about yourself and what you do best. When's the last time you actually sat and thought about or journaled about, what do I know today differently than what I did yesterday? And it could be about the same thing. How often do you allow other people to step in and tell you what you're doing? No, it shouldn't be that way. It should be this way. Whose life is it anyway? In the words of Mae Jemison, don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live. Perseverance and persistence help you to be brave and bold enough to do just that. Mae Jemison said, don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live. Which brought us to today's topic, leadership pearls, the P2 punch, perseverance and persistence. They bring, and let me back up. Those two words, number one, they're not synonymous. They are not synonymous. Even with the quote that was shared on the promo for today's show that basically said, persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. Now I'm going to bring this really home today because my day got off to a slow start. And I have to share why, because as I stood in front of the mirror, doing my best to make it happen, getting frustrated, stopping and saying, I'm done with this, knowing that I didn't have the luxury to be done with it, and it's not my nature to be a quitter. Braces. Now, I wore braces 47 years ago. I didn't want them then, and I don't want them now. What's the difference? I'm a lot wiser and willing to step into spaces and places I really did not want to go, especially having been there before. Now it's been going on for almost 2 years now. And what's kept me going to get to the end has been perseverance and persistence. It's been about persistence because I've not always been good at what I need to do, as my dentist has reminded me, as my orthodontist has reminded me, though my orthodontist has been a little kinder than my dentist because she's continued to encourage me and tell me, oh, you're doing so well. Well, I want you to know it's been my perseverance that has kept me wanting to do the absolute best that I can. So this morning, I spent more than an hour trying to get new rubber bands to connect the way in which they were supposed to. I got there halfway, and then I abandoned it because I was just totally frustrated with it. It's like, I can't do this. I'm calling the office. I've got to go in. There's got to be another way to keep this train on tracks to get to the end game. And it was in the middle of a call with a client that as my tongue was fiddling around inside my mouth, that I realized, oh, I think I got what she was trying to tell me. And so after my call, I said, okay, let me go back and see if I can get this done. I think I've got it. It kind of feels like it did when I left the office yesterday. Time will tell. I know something is happening because the pain I started feeling yesterday is coming back. What does that mean? Progress. It means things are shifting. I'm moving in the right direction. Why? perseverance, persistence, and resilience. Now, some may say, you might say, I'm no quitter. I'd probably do the same thing. I don't know. I'm no quitter either, but truth be told, I certainly was ready to quit and go back and say, we have to find a plan B because I can't do this. So when you have convinced yourself of something you want for your life, when you've convinced yourself that it wasn't possible, what did you do? Did you tell yourself, what makes you think you can do that? Who told you you're good enough to pull that off? I've been there too. And it takes sometimes a little bit, and sometimes it takes a whole lot to shake that false reality. Pushing off your inner critics, your outer naysayers, and the unpleasant events that interrupt your reality are easier to handle when you activate the P2, boom, boom, punch to assist you in becoming the overcomer that you are. This life wasn't meant for you to tackle challenges and obstacles alone. Some, yes. All of them, absolutely not. We really do need each other to get along and to go further. There's I believe it's an African proverb that says, when you want to go fast, you go alone. When you want to go far, you go with others. There is no greater truth in that statement from my experience. Has that been your experience? If you're progressing as a leader and you're striving and reaching new heights, I believe it is. I believe it is. It was Althea Gibson who said, no matter what accomplishments you make, somebody helped you. And I share this quote because I earnestly and strongly believe it for myself. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I've been confronted with more challenges and obstacles these past few weeks that have delayed, shifted, and taxed my mind, body, and spirit in ways I would have never imagined. It made me want to bury myself under the covers, thinking that would make it go away, knowing full well that it wouldn't. But I will admit, I did try it, and it didn't work. What did I do? I did what I live, eat, sleep, breathe, coach around every day. I knew how to pull myself up, to make resilience count, to bring it to bear, to persevere, to push through. There are times when you do that it doesn't feel good. However, in your mind, when you really understand the value and the power of what it has to keep you moving forward, you do it anyway. You do it anyway. And what you find is that 9 times out of 10, it gets you to the other side of where you want to go. Trust is such a big factor in the success of your leadership. If people you lead don't trust or believe in you, how successful do you believe your leadership is or can be? Everything in life that you do as a leader rises and falls on your leadership. How well equipped are you as a leader? What do you do to keep your mind sharp? What do you do to stretch yourself? Because if you're not stretching yourself to grow and either dive deeper into what works for you, or maybe you need to shift and tweak it. I know the past couple years has been full of that. So let's talk about how I found myself in this place, because I want you to know it's a very real place that any of us can end up on any given day. Friends, near, dear, acquaintances, and life happening have attempted to pull me down. Not in a bad way, but in a way of realizing life continues to change and it's taking its toll these days. Burnout is real. Mental health issues are off the charts. And yet many of us still want to hide them under the rug as if like they don't exist. When you think about the role trust plays in your life, what comes to mind? How has it shaped or shifted your leadership? How have these things that maybe it is time to take a moment and pause and reflect on? How am I dealing with this? Let's talk about resilience. Do you have a lifeline? Someone you can call just to check in and make sure that you can vent about it or talk about it or make yourself feel better about what's happening? It begins with, as we've been talking about in this series of Leadership Pearls, an awareness, a self-awareness of where you're finding yourself and your ability to reach out. We all need each other. What was that song? I can't think of who sang it. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Sometimes it's just that simple. Meet a friend for coffee. If you can't meet in person, call them on the phone, get them on a Zoom, decide you're going to do something together. Go for a walk. Believe it or not, movement has a lot to do with keeping us grounded and centered and moving forward. Persistence, continuing to do that which you don't want to do because you know it's the best thing for you. If you've got paper and pen handy or a phone or something, I want you to write those two words down: persistence and perseverance. They're not the same. They're fraternal twins. They're not the same, but they certainly come out of the same construct of empowering you to move forward, to really reach those goals, those things that are important for your life. When you give serious consideration to what you want for your life, for your leadership, it really happens when you're persistent, persevere, and consistent about what you want. And this is where your TBD kicks in. You know, as I always say, think, be, and do more. Write that on a little sticky and stick it someplace where you can see it regularly. On the front of your computer screen, your bathroom mirror, the refrigerator. Think, be, and do. TBD. You may be saying to yourself, Helen, what more can I do? I sometimes ask myself that same question, more times than you can imagine. Sometimes it leads me down a rabbit hole, and sometimes it opens up new possibilities, fresh opportunities that I didn't see or even imagine on the horizon. What makes the difference? You do. You make the difference in how you want to command and take charge of your life. As a strength, resilience, and leadership coach, you may believe that I've got it all figured out. I don't. And yet, we're going to do, before this year is out, we're going to really spend some time and do a deeper dive into resilience and some of the ways that you can build your resilience. Can you believe we're approaching that time of year where we start to think about, okay, let me get ready. Let me get ready for what's on the horizon in a new year. Yeah, now's a great time to begin to look at those things, to stretch, to think with intention on purpose. I want to position you to finish strong. Success is not a solo journey. However, it does require that you spend some time deciding on how you intend to pursue what you want. And it takes awareness, it takes intention, it takes consistency. Oh my goodness. It takes resilience, it takes perseverance and persistence. Because there's a saying I heard in the church years ago, new levels bring new devils, or new adversaries, new enemies, whatever you want to call it. And you got to gear up and be prepared to stomp them, step on them. Don't let them get in your way. Don't let them steal your joy. Yeah. What I've learned is that the best way that I can support you is to stand with you and support your desire and willingness to lead out of the best of who you are and to do what you do best on purpose. It's not a one and done. It's something that you practice and make a part of your life. What habits and practices do you put in your life every day that are going to help to keep you on a more even keel and reduce those spikes of things happening that unnerve you and knock you off balance a little bit? Living intentionally to grow and develop your leadership on purpose is when you begin to have better control over your destiny. It doesn't mean you'll get there without any hiccups. In fact, do you realize that the hiccups, the interruptions that challenge you in life, you have a choice. You can succumb to them, or you can figure out how to rise above them. And when you show up here every week, I promise you'll pick up a nugget or two that you can jot down. And I'm famous for jotting down notes on a back of an envelope, or because, me and texting, typing it in the phone, I get too many typos or mispoints, or what's that autocorrect gets in the way. And when I read it, I'm like, huh? What was I saying here? Whatever it takes for you to do this and move forward is what you want to focus on, to get you to be the leader, to stretch and grow and uncover the truth of who you are and what you want is the greatest value I can give to you. My number one goal is to motivate, inspire, and help you change your reality by supporting your move forward in pursuit of your dreams and desires. We all have them, whether we share them with others or whether we keep them to ourselves. Your greatest you deserves nothing less than to prepare and equip yourself for your breakthrough, to your best you. How ready are you to do it? Now, Dr. Helen Speaks is a resource to help you get to where you want to be each week. We explore different topics to discover and uncover and level up your leadership by leveraging your strengths, the best of who you are. We want you to operate with your A game. One of the ways that happens is to help you manage your weaknesses. We all have them. We've got to learn to get them out of our way. Here's a newsflash. Your weaknesses are never going to become the best of who you are through your strengths. Identify what they are. I will tell you, one of my weaknesses is social media. Now, I work at it. Am I working at it to become expert in it? No, I work at it because it's important to be in that space. And it helps me to understand that when I get assistance from others in that area, guess what I'm doing? I'm learning new ways of being. Not that I ever aspire to be perfect with them. And for those of you in the private Facebook group, Strength, Resilience, and Leadership, if you're not there, just type in the chat and let me know that, hey, I want to know more about that. I'll send you an invite. I keep challenging myself in that space because I'm not ready to go full out. But I do need to learn and grow in that area. What's my why? It's because it's going to help me leverage more of my strengths, the best of who I am. To make your weaknesses become your strengths, it never, ever really happens. Instead, it's about developing your strengths to help diminish, and in some cases, totally mitigate your weaknesses from getting in the way of your success. An ingredient that's more often than not overlooked as a source of power is to build your resilience. I talk about it all the time because when you look at me, I'm only here because I consciously realized the value and significance of resilience in allowing me to move forward and push through the distractions, detours, and derailers to your success. That's what resilience really does for you. I've developed an innovative and heart-centered approach that helps you achieve more success, less stress, and greater joy in life, personally and professionally. Yeah, it really matters. How does success show up? There are 3 clear ways you can measure your success. Number 1, an improvement in your performance. And you're the best judge of that. So don't think that there's some external measure that's going to help you figure that out. Number 2, an increase in your productivity. Productivity is different from performance. You can perform at a higher level and still be productive. However, if you're performing at a higher level, it's going to impact your productivity. And number 3, growth in your prosperity potential. Okay, profits. However, prosperity potential is bigger than just profits. Your prosperity potential can show up with new clients, new customers, new ways of being and showing up. At the end of the day, it's a stronger bottom line. Why do we talk about a bottom line? Because whether you're in a nonprofit, for-profit, education, government, politics, I don't care what you do, CEO of a multinational corporation. These are things that you're always looking to measure and assess how successful you are. It's like when you're looking at your strengths, what do most people want to do? Well, what are my weaknesses? What are you worrying about your weaknesses right now? Focus on building your strengths to be the best that they can be. This awakens a path for you to have more of what you want on purpose, with intention, and on your terms. So as your show host, connector, and convener of leaders, Dr. Helen Speaks is a place of support and learning for you to optimize your leadership, life, learning, and legacy from start to finish. Here's a truth learned. If you aren't learning from other leaders who know more than you, how well equipped are you as a leader? Good question to ask. Good thought to think about. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day and to really focus your day around that? And I like to ask this question every week because it's a powerful question to get you to consider, what do you do best? And how does it show up in your daily life? Are you living your best life ever? I want that for you. I really do. Because it's that place where engagement, when you look at bathroom tiles, old school, I don't know if they still tile bathrooms. They probably do somewhere in the bathroom. But when you look at the tile, what often gets missed is the grout between the tiles that keeps them all connected on the wall, on the floor, wherever they are. That's how engagement is. It's a key skill for leaders and one of the most effective ways to level up your leadership for more success, satisfaction, peace, power, and joy. Engagement unlocks your unique path to be seen, heard, and impactful. What keeps you moving forward from here to what's next? Dr. Helen Speaks. We're here to ignite your spark and fuel your flame, to think, be, and do more. TBD. More of who you are to get more of what you really want for your life as a leader. So before we leave, I want you to lock in that link to get here to the show, because this is where we show up every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern time, where we connect, share, commune with one another, share ideas, challenges, opportunities to think, be, and do more. I'm Dr. Helen Holton. I am elated to be your host of Dr. Helen Speaks.